observe how your parents communicate with their parents.
Yeah, that's key.
Venye mamako na babako wanaongelesha bukake, bukako na shusho yako.
That's key.
So maybe if you're missing, if you're struggling to find that way to communicate to your parents, maybe observe how they're talking to their parents.
Yes, and it will
how
give
they're
you
talking to your grandparents.
It will give you a what?
An idea of how
their relation
they communicate.
Oh, okay.
Because how they communicate to their parents could be influencing how they communicate with you and how they receive the way you communicate with them.
Okay.
Yeah, just an idea, guys. Just an idea.
It's actually true because...
So if your grandparents are still there, observe how both mom and dad communicate with your grandpa and your grandma.
Because they were taught... There is the way they were taught to communicate.
Yeah.
And that's what they'll carry. That's how they're going to teach you. My dad... Well, my dad's kinda... Hi, Daddy.
Hi.
My dad is girl, guys. So my dad was brought up in that era where men were not supposed to show feelings.
Exactly.
Show emotions.
I think we're still there. I think we're still there. It's not changed.
Well, it's not changed as much, but my dad did things differently with us.
Yeah.
Instead of telling my brothers that, well, you're a man, don't feel this. It's like, what's up? Are you frustrated? Show your emotion. Like, I've watched my dad, and I'm not saying this to make him to make it sound like he's less a man. He's my hero. Do you know why?
Okay, Dad, because for help.
Because the fact that there are times he's been vulnerable with us as a family, that we've seen what he's going through, has taught me to know that no man is supposed to be strong to a point that they cannot express.
Are you guys adopting? Your family is so wholesome.
Oh, we love it
so much. I love what you're saying, but it's the way Umesema, you are the second born, the first daughter. I am the last born. And let me tell you, there's no one time my parents have sat me down and told me this and this is happening. But when my sister is there, they'll have a whole communication. I'm just like, what's happening, guys? Mbona mnyambi? But they found a safe space with my sister. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a last born, but I don't blame them.
I'm also a last born, that's why I'm quiet.
Yes,
I'm also a last
so
born.
when she says that her parents talk to her, I'm like, wow, it actually happened.
It's about creating that for them. And again, my sister just finished high school the other day. And my sister can tell you the mental state of my parents.
Oh, okay.
Right now, she's not the last born because the last born is 2 years.
Yeah.
But
last born.
Okay, that's like
by the time you see this,
oh baby,
you know.
Yeah, but my sister is quite young. She just turned 18, but she can tell you the mental state of my parents. Why? Because she also built on that. You know, she also built on giving them a safe space. Because me, Nikombali, the best they can do is, you know, call me, hey Jane, this and then they know I'm living a whole different life away from them, so they can't, you know, mess with that as much. But who's home? So why do they have to wait until I go home or my brother goes home to find a safe space to talk about, hey, this is what is going on? Because there's some stuff they can't tell their friends. There's some stuff they can't tell a stranger. This is a very close thing to talk about.
Actually, that's very interesting because then that would be suggesting that the place you are, the position you're born, influences how you communicate with your parents. So the firstborn versus the lastborn.
Yes.
So
is this the black tax thing? No.
But
controversial, but could be. It could be. Yeah. Because if personally, as I'm also a lastborn. Here, team lastborn.
I feel like I'm seated with babies.
This is our baby.
These
are babies, my friends.
Mother. So the way but also the way I communicate with my parents is not the same way that my older siblings,
of course,
will communicate with them.
Yes.
But our relationship is also very different.
Yes.
Like your sister, the 2-year-old one, when everyone is grown, they'll move out. you'll have that period when it's just you and your parents.
Yes.
And that, for me, that period really, hi mom, dad. For me, that period really bonded us.
Yeah?
Like the three of us.
Oh.
We were literally roommates.
Oh,
They're calling me, they're like, today we don't want to cook. Come with pizza. I'm like, okay, can we buy at least a Fanta as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't have that interaction with my older siblings as well.
Yeah.
So when they're going through something, they will feel more incentivized to talk to me than to talk to my older siblings.
Because they're not even there.
Yeah, because they moved, and then us, we had that 2-3 years when we were just the three of us.
That's 2-3 years, again, you created that safe space for them.
Yes.
There are people who've been with their parents for longer years. Not you, Mama.
No. It has reminded me of something. There was a time I was going home and then my mom was driving, and when my mom and I drive, like we even turn down the radio. Udako. We now talk. We talk. And then, hi, Mama.
Hello, Mama.
So the guys next to us, we were in traffic, and the guys next to us the mom was working with my mom, but the son the whole time was on earphones. Like they could not communicate.
Yeah.
Like why can't you communicate to your son? Hata kama tu ni story kidogo, hata kama ni udaku ya jirani and whatever. Why can't you communicate?
Again, I feel like as much as we also try, again, our parents have to also try.
Exactly.
Because we are living in different times. And
hello, parents. Tango 1, Tango 2.
this is your time. I have nimewatetea.
Yeah, you know, now.
Sasa narudi pale. The other side of the coin is there are parents who either think like the old times, you know. Mtoto ni lea mtoto atoke aende. That's it. Like that's that. That's why mukitan 18, get out.
Bye.
Go start your own life. It doesn't matter. And then we have the millennial parents who have a nanny who will take care of your kid from 0 to 18.
Yeah.
The nanny knows the kid more than you.
Okay.
So we have those two type of parents. So there is always a miscommunication. With the first group, we cannot do things like the old times.
Yeah.
Vitu may change. We've got new regulations.
Hey guys, it's 2023, man. It's 2023. Come on, hello.
It's a new century. Things are very different. So for that group, there's going to be a miscommunication. Honestly, there are times I've had to tell my folks, I know this worked for you then, but right now it's not gonna work.
Hey, wait, so what people will go and tell their parents that of course
don't say
we were watching RoundTable. I heard it from RoundTable.
I don't want parent committee to come get me, but find a way to word that.
Yeah, but as a parent, if you're watching this, that means you're already open-minded. So
try and understand there is a gap in centuries, so things are not the same. Like zile vitu zilikuwa zina happen, then they were stressed about a daughter being pregnant or getting HIV and AIDS.
Yeah, they had different problems.
The problems then was so different. Now the problems are bigger.
Yeah, people are worried about polio. Now we're worried about super gonorrhea, guys. The problems are very different
or
now.
my girl being killed by her boyfriend.
Right now we are facing different stuff. So communication at that point is different. And for the millennial parents who are complaining CBC has ruined their lives, me, I am so glad, by the way.
Guys, come for her. Say today, guys, this is her episode. Jen has decided violence today.
I'm a fight
you.
Guys, she wanted a black mug today. She insisted on a black mug.
Cheers, guys.
I'm going to be a millennial mom. Let me tell you. I won't say all of them are bad and I won't say all of them are good. But this is someone, let's say for example, a single mom, but a millennial single mom. She is out there, she is grinding, she is 24 hours working. Who else is going to look after her daughter or her son?
I don't argue that. These people are important. And that is why that job is there for them.
Yes.
But again, didn't you decide to be a mother?
Yes.
You're a single mom, yes, but you cannot find some few hours to spend with your daughter or with your son.
Can I interject a bit?
Yeah, sure.
How, if you're, you can compare being a single parent versus coming from a fully
Let me tell you, there's no difference.
The way also, to you guys and to everyone, consider whether you were raised by a single parent or
Yeah.
by both of them.
Yeah.
Because the way
It's
you
not the
communicate
same.
and the way they communicate to you is really, really triggered by that. If they've raised you on their own versus if they had someone to, like, you're being raised together, it's going to trigger and influence how you guys communicate.
I'm
with
sorry,
each other.
I'm sorry, no. Get low to argue.
Round table. It's called a round table for a reason.
No, but when I say single parent, I don't mean one. They can be two, but one is absent. He is there, but he is not there. When I say single, I don't mean just one.
Okay.
I mean single, like your partner is absent. No, he's there, but he's absent.
Absent.
Or
Exactly.
she is.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to Hey, my boo
Yeah,
babas. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. Even she can be absent. So when I say single, I mean that.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't now talk about that.
Okay.
Yes.
If the then it's actually kind of the same. It's actually literally the same thing, because that will even if you have one parent that's present, how they communicate with you and how you communicate to them is going to be triggered by the same thing. So it might even be harder to communicate to a single parent when it's just the one person who's absent, and then versus when they're not completely there at all.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have okay, let's use a dad because tumetumia wasichana sana. We
My babas, I'm sorry.
we're so guys.
Hey, we're sorry.
So if you have let me use the example of a dad. So if your dad raised you on his own and your mom was there but she wasn't present, versus if he raised you on his own and your mom wasn't there, if unfortunately she died at giving birth or something like that, how he communicates with you and how you communicate to him will trigger very different things for the both of you.
Okay.
The both of you.
How about you talk about the communication now from the absent parent? Case study.
Na mwende mshindo mkae uko malimko.
Case study. Let's use Karen. Karen grew up with a father present, like playing with her and everything,
Yeah.
and a mother absent. But now, when Karen goes into a relationship with someone else, she will. What exactly will she carry? Will she carry the absenteeism because she knows that's how relationships work? She knows that a man is not the wife is not supposed to be present in the man's life or also in the daughter's life. Is that what she's going to carry? Like bringing up her daughter too? Is she going to be absent? Is she going to try and prove a point to her parents or to her mom that she's not the same? Where do they draw the line on I'm going to be this or I'm going to be this?
I think it triggers independence. Your level of independence, that's where it comes from. I think that's actually where it comes from. Because if you've grown in a wholesome home, like the Cheggers, hello! You've grown up in a wholesome home, you might end up being dependent because you're used to people being there for you, people being there, being available. But then if you grow up in the current situation, you learn very early how to be independent, how to look out for yourself.
Yes.
Because you realize this is I'm born, I'm here, I'm growing, but then at the end of the day, my life is my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand that, but is she going to be so independent or is he going to be so independent that the child cannot depend on him?
Now that is a matter of choice. That's why you decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
How painful was not having your mom around? Are you going to carry the same thing and have
Into all your
Exactly.
relationships.
No, it's a matter of, like I told you with an example of my dad, the way he was brought up was very different from how he's brought us up. He made a decision of being vulnerable with us.
Yeah.
So Karen in this situation has to decide, am I going to carry what happened to me into a relationship and also have my kids suffer through
Not
the
be
same
able
thing?
to communicate.
Yeah. Or am I going to choose a different route? Not to prove a point. Because
Okay,
when you want to prove a point, it doesn't work.
Okay.
But just because this is the right thing to do.
Good.
So communication is a matter of choice.
Okay.
It's a matter of
That should be
honestly,
the name of this episode.
Yeah.
Communication is a matter of choice.
Amazing.
I am very bad at it, but I choose to
Even with
try.
our parents.
I
Yeah.
just choose.
Communication
Okay,
is a matter
okay,
of choice.
That's nice. Let's try now to bring this into a very weird perspective. These politicians,
Yeah.
what's the communication they were brought about with?
Maandamano.
Waliletwa na communication aina gani wakijua that it's either their way or the highway, or they were told like you can compromise, you can sit with your opposition party down and just like talk things out instead of maybe using violence. How are they brought
They
up?
created their own communication. That is my view.
Because Jen told us one of the most scary stories. Like that was really scary.
I
So she was in a
know.
matatu
On Monday.
on
this
Monday, guys.
Aye.
She was in a
This
matatu and it
beautiful
was stopped
girl.
by some random protesters.
Imagine.
When they're having those, when high politicians are low, no, hey, I'm coming for you. Yeah, when you're having those conversations, when you are deciding those things, think about on the ground level and
What's
what
happening.
it triggers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What you are
Consequences.
influencing.
Is that the way you want to communicate?
Is that the best way
Exactly.
to communicate
And that should
it?
tell people how powerful communication is. Because
Thank you.
You tell people to do a certain thing and they do it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like politicians just created their own new language. That because a normal human being
They're
wouldn't
on Morse
do...
code, babe.
Yeah.
And like, blink twice for help.
A normal human being wouldn't do what you guys are doing. Some of you guys are
No.
It is so
Yeah.
sad though. The fact that there are people, their families are locked up somewhere with big gates that always on through the house.
Yeah.
Babe, they have villas in Hawaii,
I
Mauritius,
know,
I don't know
I
where.
Italy, what are you doing with that one?
We honestly lost a kid
And we don't
from
have
Maseno.
what? Kasarani kuna maji yalo.
Imagine, and we lost a kid from Maseno on Monday because of the protests.
Oh no.
Like you can imagine.
Figure out a good way to
Yes.
work out your
Communicate.
issues.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Aye.
make it so easy. You guys grew up like we did. Like you went to
Eh.
schools. How did you communicate in school? Ama you
And
went for
also,
special
Even
schools.
better. These people have traveled to where to learn what? To have
Yes.
Thank
degrees.
you.
You
What?
guys
You
have
are
gone to
traveled.
India, CG, where you have
Like,
doctorates, masters.
what?
Then that's the best way you can communicate.
How do those
Really?
people communicate?
Ah,
The countries,
come on.
the countries they've been buying all this stuff, the countries
Yes.
they ran to, because when all these people are protesting, where were your kids?
Locked up.
Where were your
Hey,
families?
babe, boarding
Locked up.
Cambridge.
Yes.
They went
Your
boarding
kids are in
Cambridge.
Dubai, in
Yeah.
the UK, getting their studies. Well, we are here suffering. So the thing is, if that is so good, and you want to imitate what the other countries are doing, the better.
Yeah.
Then learn how they communicate.
Thank
because
you.
I don't see how the other countries, like for example, the US, will be out in the streets marching.
They
and,
do much, but it's very,
and
very
when they do it, it's
friendly. Exactly.
Hakuna
It's
hata mambo
subtle,
nyingi.
it's
Then-
organized, it's unaonekana tu wase wamesoma.
My loves, hey, if anyone triggers 2007 again, shame on you.
Shame
that's
on
going
you.
to be
If
so
you
bad,
if
honestly.
anyone triggers
real.
2007
That would be
again,
so bad.
That will be so wrong.
shame on you.
Because that was also a communication.
Literally.
Came out to be a very different thing. Again, politicians, we chose you, hatukatai.
Yes.
We made the decision.
And they removed us from our house. They did campaigns, posters. Oh, come out and,
And you
vote, come out.
promised a
And
lot
we
of
came and we
things.
chose you.
It is okay. We decided. But what we are saying is, you want to follow the US, what they do, or those big countries.
Mimic everything.
Learn what they do.
Literally, yeah. If you don't know,
Learn
just
their
copy paste.
communication.
Yes.
If you need to go there and learn, fine. Already mnakula pesa. And then mkule on a good note, mumeenda kusoma.
Na tuko sawa.
Good. That is okay. Instead of... Anyways, I rest my case.
It's actually funny because these people grew up together. You know, this is how this person handles things, and this is how this person handles. Hamwezi tukaa chini like grown-ups. Muonge.
Interestingly, actually, you've just made me think of something. most politicians in Kenya are kind of in the same age gap.
Exactly.
The old ones. So does that influence why the line of communication is that bad? Because they're probably thinking the same way.
No,
because they're the same age.
But yeah, that might
Okay,
be.
maybe,
You know why? Because
maybe.
most of their parents were during the colonial time.
Yeah.
And some of them also were during that time. And
Yeah.
that time was the white man says this, that's
goes.
it, that goes.
Yeah.
So probably that's the reason. What we can change is getting newer, younger generation on those seats.
Advices or
On those
advisors maybe.
You know? On those
Kujeni endeni
which
mje
advices
mkuje
you think
vote.
they are going to
Campaign
get
guys will
a
vote for you.
23-year-old advisor?
Tokeni kwa nyumba, tokeni kwa TikTok.
So
We'll vote for you.
now, when you choose a governor, check who you're choosing.
Yeah.
If we get younger people who understand the century we are in
And are willing to
what we
learn.
need and they are willing to do what is
Yes.
best, that will help us because again. Our watu walikuja from that time. You know, that time was hard. So
Okay.
their mindset is from what
Okay.
they saw.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, if you think about it,
That's why I asked.
the age demographic of
Yeah.
politicians,
Yes.
they're actually kind of in
Another
the
girl
same
that-
age.
Exactly.
They're kind of literally in the
That's
same
why
age.
I asked, what's the communication that they grew up with?
It.
was-
Also, what were their parents telling them? Because they
Exactly.
came from, their parents were politicians.
Yes.
They were traveling,
Yes.
they were out here campaigning.
Yes.
So whatever your dad was telling people is what you're going to tell people.
Yes. That's why we need to stop this hereditary succession.
Hey, guys, come on. It's
Let's
the
get
21st
another
century.
family,
Come on.
man.
It's
Let's
the 21st
Let's get the
century.
Odhiambos.
I mean,
My father.
hello.
It's not a campaign though. It's a joke. But yeah, communication at the end of the day is quite paramount in this community.
Communication is
Yes.
a choice.
Thank
It's a
you.
choice, like
it's
I
a
said,
choice.
it's a choice.
Learn how to communicate. Learn how to accept communication. Also listen. Listen to what this person is telling you.
Listen to us, guys. Even us.
Ukisikiza, I'm sure you can be able to communicate better and in a more friendly way. I was with a Uber guy and then he was like, we haven't even given Ruto more than a year. It's just 6 months.
You're expecting miracles.
You're expecting miracles. Let's give it time.
Someone's looking at me like,
No,
Even
I'm
me,
not
I'm like
supporting-
bombastic
I'm not supporting no one. Don't get me wrong.
But
I'm
we
not
are just
supporting no
saying,
one.
be
Just
patient.
the same way we talked about Aziad and her set. Give people time
to prove
a point.
you wrong. If you want
Yes.
them to prove you wrong, give
Yes.
them
Killing
time to
guys,
prove you
Ruto
wrong.
ametrauma.
And if you don't like them,
Ametrauma.
wait for their period
Yes.
to end. Get the person you like.
Exactly.
But not at the expense of innocence.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you for that. All this goodness has been coming from Jofuasia Media. Our Instagram is Jofuasia Media House or Jofuasia Photography. This is our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell, like, share, and also share. Nimesema share.
Share.
Exactly.
Again.
Our Twitter is Jofuasia Media and our Facebook is Jofuasia Media. Thank
Oh,
you.
Jofuasia.
Pia mimi loacha nyanze na mimi. My Instagram handle is _Kibali _ TikTok _Kibali _
Yes.
Twitter _Kibali _ and Facebook
Yes.
Odhiambo. And with that, I am done. I have talked so much, so I am not talking no more. Guys, take it away.
Hi guys, Array Records everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere at Array Records.
Wagare, washage.
Washege, kwanza washege leo
That is
wamekuwa
on
spotlight.
Instagram, Karichege, on Facebook, Jasmine on TikTok, and on Twitter, the same, Wangari. I just love my father's name so much. But yeah, that's it, guys.
Bye.
We are on.